The security of your WordPress website is extremely important. If your website is hacked, then you are going to lose all your hard work. Google is going to blacklist your website and remove it from the search results. So in this video, I am going to share with you 9 WordPress security tips that you can easily follow to prevent your website from being hacked. So let's get started. And the very first one I would like to say is make sure that your website got an SSL certificate installed on your website. So what is an SSL certificate? Let me explain with a practical example. Firstly, let me show you like what's an SSL certificate. Firstly, let me go to this website. This is my website and this website got the SSL certificate. When you click over here, you see that this is showing this connection is secure, okay? And when you click over here, you see that it's called HTTPS. So what does HTTPS stands for over here? Hypertext Transfer Protocol and secure. So if I click over here, you see everything is secure, connection is secure. And what does it mean? Your information, for example passwords or credit card numbers, is private when it is sent to this site, okay? And I would show you another one of my site which does not have this SSL certificate, thusbe.services. So I don't have SSL certificate on this one. You see that Chrome is giving me a warning, okay? Attackers might try to steal your information for these services. When I click over here, see it's not HTTP and it's giving me a warning over here, it's not secure, okay? You should not enter any sensitive information on this site, for example passwords, credit cards, because it could be stolen by attackers. So this is the case, and now let me just explain you with a very simple example what an SSL certificate is. So an SSL certificate ensure, so we have the browser over here. Using this browser, we communicate with the hosting provider to send us a copy of the website which I am viewing it from right now. So the browser, what the browser over here is doing is communicating with the hosting, okay? So if you got an SSL certificate, what it means that the connection between your browser and the hosting is encrypted. So let me explain with you a very simple example over here. Assume that you are in a party with with your friend, and all the people in the party can only speak English, and you need to tell your friend a secret. So how are you going to tell your friend a secret? Suppose if you tell your friend that secret in German language or in Spanish language, all the other people who speak English won't be able to understand what you say to your friend, okay? If you say it in English, and everyone in the room will be able to hear that secret and understand what you said, okay, then your secret will be stolen. So that's the case over here with the SSL certificate. For example, over here, if your connection is not encrypted over here, like when I said, I'll click over here in advanced, okay? So if your connection is encrypted, the language which your browser talks with the hosting or communicates with the hosting is encrypted, means no third party, no third person or anything can come in between your communication or steal your communication. Even they steal your communication or the data, if they steal it, then it's useless because the data is encrypted and can only be decrypted by the browser, okay? So for example over here, so this is an HTTPS. If I try to WP admin over here, okay, if I give my login information over, you see that over here it's not secure. Okay, so if I try give my login information, I submit it, then it's not secure. Any hacker or third party can steal the information from your network connection and then can easily hack your website. Okay, so that's one thing, especially if you are in a public area like a cafeteria or a hospital Wi-Fi network, etc. Then people can easily steal this information because your site between you, your browser and the hosting is not secure. So that's what I meant to say. You need to make sure after you set up a WordPress website, after then you need to really make sure that your website got an SSL certificate like this over here and is showing connection is secure. If your website doesn't have this, contact your hosting provider immediately, contact the support and say that how you can set up an SSL certificate on your website as soon as possible before the website goes live. Okay, so that's the first thing, security tip which I like to say. And the second one is that when you're creating a WordPress user, never ever use the username admin. Okay, let me just show you users. Okay, so by default when you create a WordPress user, okay, the very first thing that all the hosting providers set the username as is admin. Okay, admin, when you set the username is admin, this is the most common username available in WordPress, and by default it's always admin set by the hosting provider on the WordPress install, whatever, it's always set as admin. And when bots, there are lots of bots or like robots, kind of virtual robots which are trying to hack into your website, and their very first guess for the username is admin. So if you set your username as admin, that's the like easiest guess for the bots in the internet. Okay, so set something else, anything else except admin. Okay, for example on this website I say set it as handyman, not admin. Okay, so that's the second security tip which I'd like to give it to you. Okay, let me reload this page, the images are not showing. Okay, okay, then the second is that, then the third tip I would like to give you, that remove unnecessary users. Okay, for example over here this is one of my website and it only got one user. Okay, because I control this website myself, and like I'd suggest you, like if you give access to your website to multiple users, your friend, your family members or someone else, they might not know what they're doing. Okay, so that will like leave your site vulnerable. Okay, so they might install a plugin which is not good and which is insecure. So they might edit some code and they might not do they might not know what to do, and they might break your website. Okay, especially if your website is super important. So do not give access to users unless you need it at most. Okay, especially the administrator role. Okay, like do not give the administration role unless you absolutely need it. Okay, if you're hiring a writer, if you're hiring a freelance writer, then you can give him or her the author role. Okay, author role or editor role, etc. But try not to give the administrator role right away. Okay, so that's the thing. So I'd like to share a story with you. Once so I got 8 websites around, and none of them were hacked. So I've had those websites for like 6 years, or 6 years, around 6 years, and till that time none of the websites were hacked except one. Okay, and that was not due to my fault, that was due to a fault of one of my client which I gave access to my website to install a plugin. Okay, so what that person did was he reset the password to a very easy password. Okay, and the bots over in the internet easily hacked into my website and deleted my user, and after that I couldn't log into my website, so I had to delete that website and rebuild it once again. So make sure that if you, even if you have to give users login access, make sure that you talk to that person and say that not to set a easy password name. Okay, so that's my suggestion for you for the third tip. And the fourth tip was that is that enable auto update for themes and plugins. Okay, if you go to plugins, before WordPress didn't have that option, so you can now enable auto updates. For example, this one over here, I can enable auto updates for these plugins. Okay, if you enable auto updates, the plugin when an update releases, that plugin will automatically update it, because you might not remember to update a plugin or theme. So after a time, plugin might have some vulnerabilities. Okay, and to patch up that vulnerability, the plugin owner or developer releases an update. So you need to update the plugin as soon as possible. If you don't, an hacker might try take advantage of that vulnerability and then hack your website. Okay, but if you have that auto update set, okay, then the plugin will automatically update even though you are busy. You can do this for the plugins and as well as for the theme. So one example I'd like to give you, like 2 years ago, or I would like to say in 3 years, 3 years ago in 2021, I heard complaint from a lot of my clients that their website is hacked. So what they did, what the problem was that they were using Thrive themes and plugins, and they were using very old versions of Thrive themes. The themes, they used to got a lot of themes like Ignition, Pressive, etc. But now Thrive themes use the theme builder, but they had those older theme installed on their website, and they did not enable auto update. Okay, so that so their web themes and plugins got vulnerable and their website was hacked. Okay, and they are removed completely, and their like page was showing something weird kind of landing page. Okay, so that's the thing. So they had to restore a previous backup and make sure that update all the themes and plugins to patch up that vulnerability. So that's the thing. The thing is that always make sure, if I click over here, disable, it's already having auto update enabled. Okay, enable auto updates, click over here, and similarly this one you can enable it for themes also. So my fourth tip was that always enable auto updates for themes and plugins. Okay, my fifth tip is that do not install shady themes or plugins. Always install themes or plugins with high reputations, with lots of installs and high user ratings. So I'd like to show you what I mean over here. Install plugins, I'll click on add new plugins. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll type out Google reviews. Okay, just to show you an example over here. So what I do over here, you see that this it's a very trustworthy plugin, widgets for Google reviews. You see over here, it's got 300,000 plus active install. Okay, good rating, 5 out of 5, very good, and updated only a week ago. Okay, but one thing you see, untested with your version of website. Okay. So my WordPress version is the latest, but as I said, if your website is extremely important to you, okay, and you see that slide untested with your version of WordPress, then I would suggest you not to install this plugin. Okay. But if you already got a backup of your website in your server or your hosting provider, you can easily restore the backup with one click. Then you can try it out. If your website breaks, then you can easily restore it. But if you don't have a backup with your hosting, then I would suggest that you not install this plugin. Over here we see that it's also already got a very good 5 out of 5. Okay, 100,000 plus active installs, less than that, but still good. Updated 7 days ago. But you see over here, compatible with your version of WordPress. Okay, so you can install this one over this one because it's showing this like untested with your version of WordPress, and this is showing compatible with your version of WordPress. And let me scroll down. Let me discover more plugins. Just to give an example over here. Okay. So what I saying that avoid this kind of plugins. Multiple place Google review. You see there is no reviews over here, and only 20 plus active installs. And last updated was 7 months ago, a lot of time ago, untested with your version of WordPress. So it's signaling is giving me all the red signals over here. Okay, so that's what I tried to say. Avoid this kind of themes or plugins. Okay, stay away from this kind of themes and plugins. Do not install this kind of themes or plugins on your website. But if you, as I said, if your WordPress website, if you really like this plugin, what I would suggest that you set up a staging website. Then you over there you can just install it and test it out, no problem. Okay, but on your main website I would suggest you not to install this kind of themes and plugin because this is totally untested. Okay, so it's giving you all the red signals and it's bad. Okay, and let's move on to the sixth review. Use a security plugin. Okay, use a security plugin such as iThemes security or Wordfence to prevent brute force attack. Okay, for security plugin I will just show you install plugins. I will go to install plugins. So before iThemes security, before now it's known as solid security. Okay, now it's known as solid security. And why use a security plugin? Okay, so what there are lots of bots or robots. Okay, robots or bots virtually in the internet. So what they do, they put in okay, so what they do, what the bots do is they put in different types of usernames and password, different combinations of username and passwords, and they keep on trying it. Okay, they keep on putting in username and password, different combination, different usernames. They keep on trying and until they get one right, and then they log into your website and your website is hacked. Okay, so that's the problem. That's a problem. What you need to do, you need to prevent these bots from trying out different combinations. Okay, so that's why what you need to do, you need to prevent this bots from trying out different combinations. So that's why using a password which is very long, it's with special characters is very important. Okay, because if you set up easy password, then after a few tries they will guess your password and they will be able to log into your website. But if you like set a very big like password with special characters such as hash or at the rate and percentage h, whatever random characters etc., very big like 12 to 13 characters, then it's going to be very difficult for the bot to guess it. They may have to try a million times to guess your password right. Okay, but never ever set your password such as your name with the year, current year etc., never do that. Then it's going to easily hack into your website. Then it's going to easily guess your password. Okay, so that's the problem. So a security plugin, for example now known as Solid Security, previously iThemes Security, what they do is that they prevent, after a few tries they lock that bot. Okay, they block that bot, so they are not be able to try out different combinations. Okay, so that makes it difficult, that makes it further difficult for that bot to hack into your website. So that is known as the brute force attack, trying out many combinations and until getting one right. Okay, so to prevent that we use a security plugin and change WordPress login URL. Okay, but if you want to be extra secure, for example if I go over here, so what's a login URL? Login URL is that when you to log into your website, what you do is wp admin, you type in wp admin. Okay, when you try in wp admin, it takes you to the login page. Okay, so it's a very, by default it's like that, wp-admin, so everyone can access the login page. Okay, so that's a problem, even bots can know the login page. To make it more difficult for the bots, what you can do is that set up change the login URL of the WordPress website. Okay, so that it's not wp-admin, it's something else, whatever, then it will make even more difficult for the bots to access the login page and apply the brute force attack. Okay, and even normal person won't be able to go to the login page. Suppose a person randomly viewing your website, when they type in wp-admin, they know that it's a WordPress website. But if you don't want anyone to know, what they can do, you can change the login URL, and after you change the login URL, when they type in wp-admin, they will be taken to a page not found, and they will think that, oh, it's not a WordPress website, something else. Okay, so that's how you can change the WordPress login URL, and you can do that using this plugin Solid Security. Okay, and then number 8, okay, number 8 is use a hosting with good reputation. Okay, so number 8 is that always make to use hosting provider with a good info okay, so always make sure that you use a hosting provider with a very good reputation, because if you don't, then there is a chance that that your hosting there is a chance that that your hosting provider might be hacked itself. Okay, so I've seen many instances like for example GoDaddy, there many times their hosting was down. Okay, before like 2 to 3 years ago, I would suggested like all of my clients not to use GoDaddy hosting, because their website would be down randomly, and Hostinger also had problems. I worked for several clients who used Hostinger hosting, and their PHP versions were not updated, and they are showing a lot of errors on their websites, and the website got broken. Okay, so that's a problem. And also if your softwares are not updated, then your website is vulnerable to being hacked. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, and so what you do, you use a reputed hosting provider for example Bluehost. So Bluehost is an excellent hosting provider. Also Namecheap. I personally I use Namecheap. Namecheap, they provide good value for money. I've been using Namecheap for all of my websites since like 8 years, I guess. Okay, so it's very good, and Bluehost is also very good. It's very easy to use for newbie clients of mine. I always suggest for them to use Bluehost because it's super easy to set up WordPress and it's secure. Their customer service is good. So always also make sure that they have a good customer service, 24/7 customer support. So if you run into any trouble, you break your WordPress website, then you can immediately contact the customer support and get the help you need. Okay, and the number 9, I would say. So I mentioned this earlier. So what I do, number 9 is that I mentioned this earlier with a just shortly, use a long password. Okay, use a password with special characters, very long in length. Okay, let me just show it to you right now. Okay, suppose I want to add a user to this website. Add new user, and I'll type in the username my user. Okay, and if you go to this password over here, you see that this password is extremely long, and that is what to suggest, that set a very long password so that it's become even more difficult for the bots to guess. So if you don't have any security plugins to install, the bots will even have a tough time guessing this password. They will need to try a million times to set this to guess this password, because it doesn't have any meaning with hashtags, stars, okay, lots of dollars and lots of special characters. So it's super secure. This password is super big and super secure. So what you can do, you can use this password and save this password in your Chrome browser. Then you'll not need to write this super down password. You can easily reset your password using your email address. Okay, so that's the thing. Always use a password suggested by the WordPress. When you're using WordPress, just use this suggested password and add new user or update your password. So your website, you can sleep peacefully that your website is not going to be hacked. Okay, and so that's about it. There's a 9 tips. Okay, 9 tips over here. And if you like this video, then please like this video and subscribe to my channel, because it helps a lot to grow my channel. And if you need any help, you can contact me to my then you can visit my website www.thasveerwebsolutions.com. You can also email me at thasveer992@gmail.com. and if you go to my YouTube channel, I'll go to YouTube over here. If I go over here and I go to over here to my channel, you can click over here and you can see, you can use this link to contact me, and you can view my email address and email me there. Okay, so however you prefer. Okay, so if you like this video, once again, then please like the video and please subscribe to my channel so you can get more updates to videos like this. And thank you very much for watching my video, spending time watching my video. I hope you implement the tips which I mentioned, and I am very sure that your website is not going to be hacked for a long time if you simply follow this careful message.